Most pros will come on here and tell y'all that purity is the key to Plugg sound selection, but that cannot be any farther from the truth. Purity is not the key to Plugg sound selection. PCM synthesis is the key to Plugg sound selection. And to prove it to you,
the Kawai K1 from 1988.
you might be asking, what does this 40-year-old man know about some Plugg? What I can tell you is that 40-year-old man ain't never heard of no Zan Gang, he ain't never heard of no Glock 40 Spaz, he ain't never heard of no Autumn, but what he does know is PCM synthesis. That synth he used is a Kawai K1. It released in 1988 to compete with the Roland D50. The reason why you interpreted that music that he played right there as Plugg was because it was PCM synthesis, nothing more. And to prove it to you, here I have this melody made of analog keys and analog strings from a Roland Juno 106. Listen to how, like, it's good music, but it ain't Plugg. Now, the only thing I've changed is synth. Instead of using analog synthesis, I'm using PCM synthesis from the Roland XV5080. The music theory is exactly the same. The BPM is exactly the same. It's only electric pianos and strings. No music theory changed, no BPM changed, no key changed, nothing changed. The only thing that changed was the synth category that I used. If you go to Purity's website, you'll see that it says that Purity is a next generation of digital musical instrument workstation and PCM sound module Rompler software. All of that is a whole bunch of hoopla to say that Purity is a PCM synthesizer. So Purity, PCM synthesis, sound like Plugg. By now you might be wondering, okay, what is PCM synthesis? So first off, we have to understand that there are just different synth categories. One of the synth categories is analog synthesis. Analog synthesis makes it sound organically, usually through VCOs or DCOs. So the only waveforms that it has is a square wave, triangle wave, sine wave, noise, and a saw. This electric piano is simply just two triangle waves, and those two triangle waves combined creates this sound. That was analog synthesis, basic sine, triangle, and square waveforms. PCM synthesis is, instead of taking a waveform and putting it into an oscillator, you put a sample into an oscillator. Whereas the Jupiter 8 had two triangle waveforms, in this PCM synthesizer Purity, the first oscillator has one EP piano, and then the second oscillator has a bell. Instead of basic waveforms being inside the oscillators, it samples, and it creates this sound. PCM synthesis is when you take a sample, put it inside an oscillator, and make your synthesizer synthesize samples instead of waveforms. But it's not simply just a sample playback, like something like content. For example, when I play this, what do you hear? 99% of people just said, oh, I hear a piano. But it is not just a piano. It's a piano that's layered with an EP piano, that's layered with a Vox, that's layered with a pad. This is important because if it was something like Contact, it would only be playing one sample and it would sound like this. One of the classic presets that's in every single PCM synthesizer is the keys and string preset. In the XV5080, we have layers 1, 3, and 4 as pianos, and then layer 2 with a string, and it sounds like this. Purity's entire library is just copying these original hardware PCM synthesizers, like this piano string. But like obviously when you like actually go to Roland, it sounds a lot more expensive and it sound elegant. Purity is over here like McDonald's, you feel me? And the XV5080 is like, you know, Ratatouille. I'm just saying, it's unbeatable. Actually, that was cap. It is very much beatable. Let me show y'all what just dropped right now. And I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble for showing y'all this. This here is the Yamaha Montage VST from Yamaha Montage themselves. This VST gives you the full power, full access, full everything. Every knob that's on the physical Yamaha Montage M, you have access to it inside this VST. And for the ones that have actually used the Yamaha Montage before, you will know this UI is exactly how the Yamaha Montage looks. This is essentially Purity's big brother, the best thing for plug sound selection, and it gets like absolutely no better than this. If you go inside this Yamaha Montage M VST, it has this sound where it has the piano going through oscillators and then strings going through oscillators, and this is what it sounds like. Hold on, let me tell you just how important PCM synthesis is to you being a plug producer. Back in the day, when I was struggling to get placements, I was over here hitting up Zangang over and over again, like, bro, let's work. He would not reply to me. But then I told Twin, yo, I'm gonna send you loops, but I'm not sending you loops from like Purity. I'm sending you loops from like the XV5080, the Korg Triton, like PCM synthesizers. I know about that. I'm not sending you loops with Purity at all. Once I sent that DM, that's when Zangang replied to me, and since then I've been locked in with Zangang. I've got placements with Laserdem. I've gotten multiple placements with Laserdem, Slime Cedo. Like, I done took off as a producer since I done like discovered this PCM synthesis stuff. Now, this isn't to say that when you add analog synthesis onto your loops that is no longer plugged. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's not the analog synthesis that's making what you're making plugged. It's the PCM synthesis that's making what you're making plugged. Do your homework on PCM synthesis and study it the way mainstream has tricked you guys into studying analog synthesis. Because analog synthesis is not for us plug prods. I think you get it by now. PCM synthesis is the key to plug sound selection. I got placement opportunities and send beats directly to Laserdem, Baby Kia, Lil Tony, and other artists. If you're a prod and you need placement opportunities, hit me up on IG and we could lock in for show, gang. I am not Hollywood at all. But yeah, Twin, thank you for getting my watch time up, and I'm out.